You ever notice how your mind waits until the lights are off to start talking? All day, you're fine, busy, distracted, functioning. Then you lie down, the room goes quiet, your phone is face down, and suddenly your thoughts show up like, hey, now's a good time. That one awkward moment from 5 years ago. That conversation you should have handled differently. That vague worry with no name, just a heavy feeling. You turn from one side to the other, hoping sleep will save you. Instead, your brain opens a tab you didn't ask for. If this feels familiar, yeah, it's not just you. And it's not random either. There's a reason being alone with your thoughts feels heavier at night, a quiet psychology behind it. And once you see it, you'll start recognizing yourself in ways you probably haven't before. So let's talk about what's really happening when the day ends and your mind gets loud. One type of person feels this heaviness because night removes all the noise. During the day, your mind has buffers. Messages, work, conversations, movement, even stress can be a distraction. At night, those buffers disappear. You're not doing, you're just being. And for some people, that's uncomfortable. Imagine someone who's productive all day. Lists, deadlines, plans. They feel competent when they're moving. But at night, there's nothing to manage, no role to play. So their mind turns inward and starts asking questions they've been avoiding. Am I where I thought I'd be? Why do I feel behind? Why does this quiet feel so loud? Psychologically, this happens because the brain hates empty space. When stimulation drops, it fills the gap with unresolved thoughts. If this feels familiar, yeah, it's not just you. And it's not sadness exactly, it's exposure. You're face to face with yourself without distractions. Then there's another type, the emotional processor who finally gets a turn. Some people don't feel much during the day, not because they're numb, but because they're busy surviving. They push emotions aside to get through work, family, responsibilities. Their feelings are waiting patiently in the background. Night is when the guard comes down. That's when the body says, okay, you're safe enough now. So the emotions arrive: regret, loneliness, longing, grief, sometimes all at once. Picture someone scrolling on their phone at midnight, not even reading anything, just trying to keep something playing so they don't have to sit with how they feel. That's not weakness, that's delayed processing. Psychologically, emotions need stillness to surface. When the environment quiets, the internal world gets louder. If this is you, the heaviness isn't a sign something's wrong, it's a sign you finally stopped running. Then there's another type, the thinker, the overanalyzer. This person's mind doesn't slow down at night, it speeds up. During the day, they're reacting. At night, they're replaying. Conversations get reviewed, decisions get audited, futures get simulated. What if I said the wrong thing? What if I made the wrong choice? What if this feeling never goes away? Their thoughts stack on top of each other until everything feels heavier than it actually is. Psychologically, this happens because the brain's problem solving mode doesn't know when to shut off. At night, without tasks to solve, it turns inward and tries to fix the self. If this sounds like you, the heaviness comes from mental overactivity, not because your life is worse at night, but because your mind is louder. Then there's a quieter, more subtle type, the person who feels heavy at night because they're lonely in a way they don't talk about. Not alone, lonely. They might have people, friends, family, messages during the day. But at night, connection pauses. No one's asking how they are. No one needs them. No one's watching. And that absence hits. You might notice this if the heaviness feels less like anxiety and more like a dull ache, like something's missing, but you can't point to what. Psychologically, humans are wired for connection cues. Night removes them. The lack of feedback can feel like a lack of meaning. If this is you, the heaviness isn't about your thoughts, it's about what's not there. Then there's the twist. Some people feel heavy at night not because something is wrong, but because something is changing. This happens during transitions, growth phases, identity shifts. You're not who you were, but you're not sure who you're becoming yet. During the day, you can perform the old version. At night, the mask slips, and that in-between space feels uncertain, unstable, heavy. Psychologically, the brain wants coherence, a clear story. When the story is unfinished, it creates discomfort. If this is you, the heaviness is temporary. It's the weight of becoming. Here's what most people don't realize. Night doesn't create these thoughts, it reveals them. The quiet doesn't cause the heaviness, it exposes what was already there. That's why distractions feel so tempting at night. Endless scrolling, background noise, falling asleep to videos you don't even like. It's not laziness, it's avoidance. But here's the part that matters. Feeling heavy at night doesn't mean you're broken, it means your mind is trying to tell you something. The question is whether you listen or drown it out. Sometimes the heaviness is asking for rest. Sometimes it's asking for honesty. Sometimes it's asking for change. Sometimes it just wants to be felt without being fixed. And sometimes it's simply your brain learning how to be alone again. So if your thoughts feel heavier at night, pause before judging yourself. Ask a gentler question. Is this anxiety or is this unmet emotion? Is this overthinking or unprocessed experience? Is this loneliness or a need for deeper connection? Is this discomfort or growth in progress? Which type are you when the lights go out? The one who avoids the quiet? The one who finally feels? The one who thinks too much? The one who misses connection? Or the one in between versions of themselves? You don't have to fix it tonight. Sometimes understanding why the night feels heavy is enough to make it feel lighter. And if this felt uncomfortably familiar, yeah, you're not alone in that either. You're just finally quiet enough to hear yourself.